You got everything you wanted today and felt almost nothing. The package arrived before you remembered ordering it. The food came hot to your door. The show you wanted was already waiting and the next one already playing. Every small wish met. No waiting, no friction, no resistance at all between you and the thing you wanted. And underneath all of it, a flatness you cannot quite explain. Not sadness, something quieter. The sense that the whole day was smooth and somehow weightless at once. You assume you need more. What if you have had far too much of exactly this? Think about how much resistance has quietly disappeared from your life. A generation ago, wanting something meant a sequence of small efforts. You walked to the store. You waited days for the letter. You sat through the boredom of a slow afternoon with nothing to fill it. Every desire carried a cost, in time, in effort, in waiting. We removed the cost, one by one on purpose, and we were right to celebrate each removal. Nobody misses the wait. But notice what arrived with the smoothness. The restlessness the moment you put the phone down. The way an empty afternoon now feels less like rest and more like a problem to solve. The flash of irritation when a page takes 3 seconds to load or a line takes 4 minutes to move. Something strange is happening here. The easier life gets, the less of it we seem able to bear. The smaller the friction, the larger it feels. That is not the story we were told ease would write. Start with the thing we are most certain about. That effort is simply a cost. Psychology and economics long assumed it. Effort is the price, and a sensible mind pays as little of it as possible. In 2018, Michael Inzlicht at the University of Toronto with Amitai Shenhav and Christopher Olivola assembled the case for the other half of the picture, a paper called The Effort Paradox. The same reward they found is rated higher when it cost more to reach. People climb mountains. They choose the harder path precisely because it is hard. Effort is not only a cost, it is one of the ingredients the mind uses to decide what a thing is worth. So removing effort does not leave an experience untouched and merely lighter. It can quietly strip out the part that made the experience feel earned, the part that made it feel like yours. A Roman saw this without a single study. In his 18th letter, the philosopher Seneca told a friend to set aside days for the cheapest food, the roughest clothing, a hard bed, and then to ask, "Is this the thing I feared?" Not punishment, training. Rehearsing hardship on purpose so comfort could be held lightly, and adversity, when it came, had lost its power to shock. But the man giving this advice was among the wealthiest in Rome, accused by hostile ancient sources of a fortune almost beyond counting. His poverty was a rehearsal he could end at will, and the doctrine that only inner freedom matters came from a man the emperor would later order to kill himself. His insight is real. So is the contradiction. He had to invent scarcity because his own life had none. That is now nearly all of us. And here the easy conclusion breaks. We assume comfort makes us soft, that it wastes a muscle we could train back. The truth is stranger. In 1974, 2 researchers, Richard Solomon and John Corbit, described how pleasure actually behaves. Every pleasant relief sets off an automatic opposite reaction beneath it. The pleasure fades quickly with repetition. The opposite reaction does not. It lingers, and it grows. Repeat the comfort enough and that hidden counterweight takes over. The baseline drifts upward. What once felt good now registers as nothing, and the small friction still left starts to feel unbearable. So here is where this channel has to be careful. The temptation is to turn this into a discipline lecture. Cold showers, Embrace the suck. Manufacture hardship and harden yourself back into a real human being. That is the resilience influencer version, and it misses the scale of the thing entirely. This is not a flaw in your willpower. It is the shape of the world around you, because each removed friction was a real gift. Nobody should want the ache, the weight, the cold house back for its own sake. The past was not better. Seneca's world ran on slavery and coercion, on hardship nobody chose. Romanticizing it is a lie. But notice what the two halves share: the freedom from discomfort and the slow loss of our ability to bear discomfort are not two separate events. They are the same event, seen at two different moments in time. The relief comes first. The cost comes later, quietly, and almost never gets traced back to the comfort that caused it. That is the trap inside the word on the screen. Does a frictionless world destroy us? The honest answer is that we do not fully know. The mechanism is real. The drifting baseline, the accumulating counterweight, the value that only effort could supply. Whether that adds to destruction or only to a life slowly drained of its weight is the question the evidence walks toward. It does not arrive. So we are left in a strange position. We can see the mechanism, we can even name it, and still we reach for the next removal of friction because in the moment the relief is real and the cost is invisible. Knowing does not protect you. The man who rehearsed poverty had to schedule it on a calendar against his own comfort deliberately, and he was surrounded by a world that made the lesson obvious. We are not. Every instinct the modern world has trained into you says the same thing. Smooth the next edge, remove the next weight, close the next small gap between wanting and having, and every time you do, the relief is genuine, and the baseline drifts a little further from anything that could satisfy it. So the question is not how to suffer more. That is the discipline lecture, and it is far too small. The question is what a life costs when nothing in it is ever allowed to be hard, and whether by the time you feel that cost, you would still be able to choose anything else. Next time, we follow the thread underneath all of this, down to the thing doing the wanting in the first place. You have been told to chase it, trust it, follow it wherever it leads. Nobody asked whether it was ever yours to begin with. Desire.